I'm 84 years old, and I've been awake since before dawn, sitting at the small kitchen table where I've sat for decades. The house is quiet now in a way it never used to be. And this morning, like so many mornings lately, I realized I measured my life by the wrong things. I don't say that with drama. I say it the way you say something you've known for a long time but only just found the words for. The way you finally admit a truth when there's no reason left to hide it. At my age, time doesn't feel like it's moving fast anymore. It feels thin, fragile, like there's not much of it left to hold on to. I'm not telling this because I need forgiveness or praise or comfort. I'm telling it because I'm near the end, and honesty feels more important now than pride ever did. Most days, I move slowly through my routines. I make my tea. I take my pills. I look out the window. I watch people who are busy, who have places to go, who still believe their days stretch far ahead of them. I don't interrupt them. I just watch. When you get old, you spend a lot of time remembering without trying to. Memories show up on their own. You don't chase them. They come while you're washing a cup or folding a shirt that belonged to someone who isn't here anymore. I think back to when I was young, and I don't see a fool. I see someone trying to do what he thought was right. That's important to say. I didn't wake up each morning intending to waste my life. I believed I was building something solid. In my 20s, I worked hard. Everyone did. Work was how you proved your worth. I measured my days in hours, my years in promotions. I told myself that sacrifice now would mean comfort later. That was the math everyone used. I got married young. We didn't have much, but we were busy enough not to notice. We talked about the future like it was guaranteed. Children. A better house. More stability. We assumed time would cooperate. I took pride in being reliable, in showing up, in being the one people could count on. I stayed late. I brought work home. I told myself I was doing it for my family. And in a way, I was. But not in the way that mattered most. There were evenings when my children wanted me to sit on the floor with them, and I told them, later. Later after I finished something. Later after I rested. Later after tomorrow. Later became a habit. I don't remember the exact moment that habit formed. It didn't announce itself. It just quietly settled in, like dust on furniture you stopped noticing. I measured my life by output, by responsibility, by being seen as dependable. I thought presence was something you could postpone. My wife and I used to talk in short bursts. Practical conversations. Bills. Schedules. Plans. We were tired, and we told ourselves that was normal. We believed closeness would return when things slowed down. They never really did. There was no single argument that broke us. No dramatic ending. Just a gradual thinning of attention. Less listening. More assuming. We lived side by side, both believing we were doing our best. Years passed like that. Children grew. They became independent in ways I encouraged and then quietly resented. I told myself that was the goal all along. I missed things without realizing I was missing them. School events I couldn't attend because of work. Conversations cut short because I was distracted. Moments that seemed small at the time but were actually the substance of a life. I remember one night, coming home late, finding the house dark. Everyone already asleep. I stood in the hallway for a long time, holding my coat, unsure why I felt unsettled. I told myself it was just exhaustion. It wasn't. It was distance forming. But distance is polite. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It waits. By the time I was in my 40s, I had what I thought I was supposed to want. A stable job. A decent home. A reputation for being hardworking. I felt tired, but I called that success. I didn't ask myself what any of it felt like. The cost didn't arrive all at once. It came in small, forgettable pieces. A phone call not returned. A visit postponed. A conversation replaced with silence. My children stopped asking me for things. I took that as a sign they were growing up well. I didn't see it for what it was. My wife and I became efficient together. We functioned. We coordinated. We rarely lingered. I remember sitting across from her one evening, both of us eating quietly. She looked up and studied me for a moment, like she was deciding whether to say something. Then she didn't. I wish I had noticed that moment more. There's a point in life when you don't realize you've passed the last chance to fix something. You think there will be another opportunity, another conversation, another version of yourself with more time. That belief is comfortable and dangerous. The turning point didn't come with fireworks. It came with a phone call. Her illness was discovered late. There were appointments, treatments, a lot of waiting rooms. Suddenly, time felt different, urgent, precious, but also stubbornly limited. We talked more then, or tried to. We said things we should have said years earlier. But words spoken under pressure don't land the same way. They carry weight, but not relief. I sat beside her hospital bed and held her hand, thinking of all the times my hands were elsewhere, on paperwork, on tools, on steering wheels headed somewhere that didn't matter as much as I thought it did. When she died, it felt unreal in a quiet way. Not like a collapse, more like a door closing gently, permanently. After that, the house changed. It became larger and emptier at the same time. I moved through rooms that still held her habits, her cup, her chair, her way of folding things. Grief wasn't loud. It was steady. It followed me everywhere. My children came, of course. They helped. They were kind. But they had their own lives. And I had taught them, without meaning to, how to keep moving forward without lingering. I saw then how my values had been passed on more by example than intention. As the years continued, people fell away. Friends died. Conversations grew shorter. Invitations stopped coming. I didn't blame anyone. Life narrows on its own. What surprised me most was how little my achievements mattered in the end. Titles, accolades. They don't visit you. They don't sit beside you when the nights are long. What remains are moments, or the absence of them. There are things now that cannot be fixed. Apologies that would sound hollow if spoken too late. Time that will never be returned. Versions of relationships that no longer exist. I accept that. I have to. But acceptance doesn't erase understanding. It just makes room for it. If I'm speaking to you now, it's not to warn you or instruct you. I don't believe in telling people how to live. Everyone's life unfolds differently. I just want to share what I wish I had understood sooner. I wish I had known that measuring your life by productivity can quietly steal your presence. That being busy feels useful but can become a hiding place. That relationships don't fall apart from neglect alone, but from postponement. I wish I had understood that success without connection feels thin when you're old. That being remembered for what you did matters less than being remembered for how you were. If you're listening and your life feels full and rushed, that's not a failure. That's life. Just don't assume it will slow down on its own. Time doesn't organize itself around your intentions. If this meant something to you, you don't need to change anything dramatically. Just notice. Notice who is sitting across from you. Notice the conversations you keep putting off. As for me, I live quietly now. I tend to my days. I remember. I accept what I cannot redo. I measured my life by the wrong things for a long time. That truth is heavy, but it's also clear. And clarity, even late, has its own kind of peace. There isn't much time left for me. I feel that. I don't fear it the way I once did. I just wish I had understood sooner what was worth holding while I still could. That's all I wanted to say.